Hi everyone, today we're going to be working on lesson 5.8 in our Go Math materials. So we are going to be starting on page 335. Again, lesson 5.8 in our Go Math materials. This is the last lesson for chapter 5. Okay, so it's very important that we get this lesson in, we get it done. We are starting on page 335 at the top where it says unlock the problem. All right, let's take a look at this. Carson spent $15.99 for 2 books and 3 pens. The books cost $4.95 each. The sales tax on the total purchase was $1.22. Carson also used a coupon for 50 cents off his purchase. If each pen had the same cost, how much did each pen cost? So, we're going to look at this, we're going to break it down, and we're going to figure this problem out together. Let me quickly grab my pens here because I forgot to do that before we started. Okay, here we go. So, first thing we're going to look at is this section of the page where it says read the problem. Okay, right here, read the problem. So, we are going to be figuring this out step by step, and we're going to be doing what we call a flow chart. Okay, and I'll explain that as we go. So, first thing is, what do I need to find? So, it tells us in our problem up here, how much did each pen cost? So what do I need to find? I need to find the cost of each pen. We can just put the cost of each pen. Okay. The second part says, what information do I need to use? Well, there's a lot of information that we have in our problem. So let's kind of go through that. And I'm going to underline this as I go with red. So I know that he spent $15.99 for 2 books and 3 pens. Let's write that down. $15.99 for 2 books and 3 pens. Okay, and there's more information as we go through here. We know that each book cost $4.95. Each book cost $4.95. Okay, the sales tax was $1.22. Sales tax was $1.22. Okay, there's a tax on everything when you go to the store. When you buy food, there's a food tax. Okay, and then the last part of this is he also used a coupon for 50 cents off. So coupon equals 50 cents off. If you need to pause this video to write all this down, please do so now. You can go back if you need to look over the problem again, pause the video, whatever you'd like. You can do all that. That's the great part about distance learning, okay? So then the last part says, how will I use the information? Well, this is where the flow chart comes into play, and we're actually going to work backwards from the amount he spent, okay? So we're going to work, and I'm going to use a black pen. Work backwards and use the flow chart, okay, which is down below. So work backwards and use the flow chart, okay, to figure out the cost of each pen. All right, so let's take a look at this. We're going to start down here where it says solve the problem. Okay, so right here in this section where it says solve the problem. And we're going to look at this piece by piece. So first thing, it says to make a flowchart to show the information. Then using the inverse operations, work backwards to solve. So the inverse operations, I'm going to write those down here. Add and subtract our inverse operations, and then multiply and divide our inverse operations of each other. Inverse operation just means opposite. So it's the opposite. So when we're adding, we're subtracting. When we're subtracting, we're adding. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at this. The first box says cost of 3 pens. Cost of 3 pens, whoops, plus the cost of 2 books. Well, 2 books would be 2 times, I'm going to use black, $4.95 because each book cost $4.95. And we know that because it told us that up in our original problem. Then we have to add the amount of tax, which is $1.22, because it told us in our original problem. Then we have to subtract 50 cents because that was the total amount that his coupon was worth. Okay, so we're going to subtract 50 cents and we're going to figure this out. Okay, we're going to figure out what the total amount spent was. Well, it actually told us up in the problem that this person spent $15.99. So the total amount spent was $15.99. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to see how this goes down in an arrow. I'm going to use red really quick. So this is like an arrow all the way down. Okay. Now we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to take our total, which we know is $15.99, and we're going to add the coupon. Instead of subtracting it, we're doing the inverse operation. So we're adding it this time. So that was 50 cents. And instead of adding $1.22 for sales tax, we're doing the inverse operation and subtracting $1.22 for sales tax. And instead of adding the cost of 2 books, this time we're going to subtract the cost of 2 books. So 2 times $4.95. Okay, 2 times $4.95. Now we're going to take a look at this and we're going to figure out each piece individually. And I'm kind of running out of room here, so I'm going to open up a whiteboard so that I can show you what I mean by all this. And we're going to kind of switch back and forth, okay? Okay, let's see, whiteboard here. All right, so let's go back here. We have the total spent, which was $15.99. So let's go to our whiteboard and write that down first. $15.99. Then it says that we have to add, I'm going to use red, add, see this addition sign here? 50 cents to that. So we're going to add 50 cents. Let's do that part first. Let's get a total here. So we have 9 plus 0, which is 9. 9 plus 5, which is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Carry the 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. 1 plus 0 is 1. And since we are adding, we bring our decimal point straight down. So far we have 1649, okay? Then we go back to this, and it says to subtract, see that? Subtract $1.22 for sales tax. So let's go back and do that. Subtract $1.22 for sales tax, okay? So 9 take away 2 is 7, 4 take away 2 is 6, 6 take away 1 is 5, and 1 take away 0 is 1. Bring down our decimal point. So we're at 1567. Then we go back and we are subtracting the cost of 2 books, which the cost of 2 books was $4.95 multiplied by 2 because there's 2 of them. So first thing we have to do is figure out what $4.95 times 2 is, and then we're going to subtract it from the other number. So let's go here. Off to the side, I'm going to take $4.95 and multiply it by 2. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 more is 19, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And 1, 2, 1, 2. So we know that's $9.90. Okay, and we're subtracting that because of this. Subtracting that. So we'll go back here. We'll subtract $9.90. 7 take away 0 is 7. 6 cannot take away 9. So we borrow from the 5, and that becomes 4. This becomes 16. 16 take away 9. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. That's 7. 4 cannot take away 9, so we borrow from this. That becomes 0. This becomes 14. 14 take away 9 is 5. Bring our decimal point over. 1, 2, 1, 2. 577. Wait, did I do something wrong? 14, 16. No, that's right. 577. Okay, sorry. I was just doubting my math for a second there because I thought I missed something. Okay, anyway. Okay, So we have $5.77. So that's the cost of 3 pens. So let's write that here. Okay. But then it asks us how much did each pen cost. So we have to take that number and divide it by 3. And I'm going to do that on this page again. I'm actually going to give myself a new page. So we have 577 divided by 3. Okay. 3 is 1 digit, so we're going to create a count by box. And we're going to put the multiples of 3 in there. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 20, let's see, 6, 7, 8, okay, 24, sorry, and 27, okay? 3 can fit into 5 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 take away 3 is 2. Bring down the 7. Okay. 3 fits into 27 exactly 9 times. 9 times 3 is 27. We're subtracting. Bring down the 7. 3 can fit into 7 2 times without going over but getting close. 6. 7 take away 6 is 1. And so, since we have a remainder, we're going to go ahead and just round it. 1, 2. So, each pen cost about $1.92. Okay? Sometimes your answer will be exactly or exact. Sometimes it won't. Okay? Just depends. All right, we're going to do a couple more of these because these are multi-step problems, which are kind of a lot to look at, okay? So I want to make sure we do a couple of them. Go ahead and turn the page. Oops, sorry. Turn the page to 336. Page 336. So we're at the top where it says try another problem. We're going to go ahead and read this. We're going to figure out what we need to find and the information we need to use, and then we're going to solve the problem, okay? Last week, Vivian spent a total of $20. She spent $9.95 for tickets to the school fair, $5.95 for food, and the rest for 2 rings that were on sale at the school fair. If each ring had the same cost, how much did each ring cost? Okay, so this first box says, what do I need to find? I need to find the cost of each ring. Cost of each ring. Okay. What information do I need to use? Well, we know that she spent $20. Okay. We're getting all this from up there. She spent $9.95. She also spent $5.95 on food. We don't have to label these yet. And then the rest was spent on 2 rings, okay? Then it says, how will I use the information? Well, we're going to work backwards, okay? Work backwards. Okay. Down here in the box where it says solve the problem, right here, solve the problem, is where we're going to go ahead and work through this. And instead of using a flow chart, I'm going to kind of solve it the way that I did on the whiteboard for that very first problem, okay? So let's take a look at this. First thing we know is that she spent a total of $20, okay? So she spent $20 total, okay? We know that she spent $9.95 for tickets to the school fair, okay? So we're going to subtract $9.95 from 20, okay? We run into a dilemma because we're going to have to borrow, okay? So 0 cannot take away 5. We have to borrow way over here from the 2. That becomes 1. This becomes 10. Then it becomes 9. Because we're borrowing all the way down till this becomes 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 9 is 0. 9 take away 9 is 0. And 1 take away 0 is 1. Okay, so we're at 10:05. Then we also know, let's kind of check these off as we go. Whoops. So we started with $20. She spent $9.95. She also spent $5.95. So we got to subtract $5.95 here. Okay. 5 take away 5 is 0. 0 can't take away 9. 0 can't take away 5. So we have to borrow way over here from the 1, which becomes 0. This becomes 10. Then it becomes 9, and this becomes 10. 10 take away 9 is 1. 9 take away 5 is 4. So we're at $4.10. So we now know, or we can check off, that she spent that $5.95 on food. But then we have to figure out the $4.10 is how much the rings cost together. But we're trying to figure out how much the cost was for just one ring, right? For each of them, for one. So we have to take this $4.10 and we have to divide it by 2. So let's do that over here. $4.10 divided by 2. Because 2 is a one-digit number, I'm going to go ahead and create a count by box here. And I'm going to put the multiples of 2 in that count by box. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay. And I'm going to now do the division. 2 can fit into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. And we subtract. Bring down the 1, right? 2 cannot fit into 1. Because it can't fit into 1, we put a 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Almost put 2. Whoops. 1. Bring down the 0. 2 can fit into 10 5 total times. 5 times 2 is 10. And we have no remainder. So our answer is, let me place my decimal point. I'm going to use green. Each ring cost $2.05. Each ring costs $2.05. Okay? So by working backwards, we were able to figure out the total cost of each ring. Okay? Because we worked backwards. All right, go ahead and turn to page 337. We're going to go ahead and do this problem as well, okay? On page 337. And it looks like this. All right, at the top where it says share and show on page 337, we're going to look at this, we're going to break it down, and we're going to solve the problem, okay? So, number 1, Hector spent $36.75 for 2 DVDs that cost the same amount. The sales tax on his purchase was $2.15. Hector also used a coupon for $1 off his purchase. How much did each DVD cost? So it says to make a flow chart to show the information and show how you would work backwards, because we are going to work backwards. But the first thing I want to do is I want to look at this a little bit different. Instead of making a flow chart like in that very first problem that we did, I want to kind of do just do this step by step, okay? So we know that Hector spent $36.75 for 2 DVDs that cost the same amount. The sales tax was $2.15. So that means when he went up to the register, they added $2.15 for tax. So since they added that to his total, we're going to subtract it from his total because we're doing the opposite. I'm going to use blue. Subtract $2.15 because that was our sales tax. 5 take away 5 is 0. 7 take away 1 is 6. 6 take away 2 is 4. And 3 take away 0 is 3. Bring our decimal point straight down. Okay? So before tax, his total was $34.60. Okay, that's what we call a subtotal. That's before tax. But it says also that he used a coupon for $1 off. Okay, so that means when he went up to the register, they added sales tax and they subtracted $1 because he used a coupon. So because they subtracted $1, we're going to add $1. And I'm going to use red. Okay, which we can do this pretty easily. 0, 6, 5, and 3. So $35.60 was his total before tax and before the coupon. But we want to know how much each DVD was. And it says that he bought 2 DVDs. 2 DVDs, okay? So we're going to take $35.60 and we're going to divide it by 2 because there was 2 DVDs. And because the 2 is a single digit, we're going to go ahead and create a count by box up here. We're going to put the multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay? We're going to do this step by step. 2 can fit into 3 one time without going over but getting close. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 take away 2 is 1. Bring down the 5. 2 can fit into 15 7 times without going over but getting close. 7 times 2 is 14. And we subtract. That gives us 1. Bring down the 6. 2 can fit into 16 exactly 8 times. 2 times 8 is 16. Whoops. And we subtract. Bring down the 0. 2 doesn't fit into 0, but we put a 0 on the end as a placeholder. Now we have to place our decimal point. So we place it right here. Now we know that the total for each DVD was $17.80. So we're actually going to skip over this one here because we did that up here in the box. And it says finally the cost of one DVD was $17.80. So each DVD costs $17.80. I'm not exactly sure why they have you write that twice, but they do. Okay. All right. I'm just thinking if I want to do those next two. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's look at number 3. I'm going to skip over 2 because that's just a what if added on to that other piece. So let's look at number 3 really quick. So Sophia spent $7.30 for school supplies. That's not a whole lot of school supplies that you can get for $7.30. She spent $3 for a notebook and $1.75 for a pen. She also bought 3 large erasers. If each eraser had the same cost, how much did she spend for each eraser? So we're going to work backwards. We're going to analyze this problem and work backwards. So we know that she spent a total of $7.30. Okay. We know that she bought a notebook that was $3. So let's go ahead and subtract $3 from this. 0, 3, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, so that gives us $4.30. And she bought a pen for $1.75. So let's subtract that from this. 10, whoops, take away 5 is 5. 2 can't take away 7, but 12, take away 7, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 is 5. 3 take away 1 is 2. Okay. She also bought 3 large erasers. If each eraser had the same cost, how much did she spend? So we know that all 3 erasers cost $2.55. But we want to know how much one eraser was. So we have to take $2.55 and divide it by 3. Okay? And I'm going to do that. I'm going to use blue. And I'm going to have to write really small over here because I've ran out of room. Okay? 3 fits into, since it's a 1-digit number, we're going to create a little count by box here, a very small one, with the multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. 3 can't fit into 2, but it can fit into 25, and it fits 8 times without going over but getting close. 8 times 3 is 24, and we subtract. Bring down the 5. 3 fits into 15 exactly 5 times, which means we have no more numbers to bring down. So the total cost of each eraser was 85 cents. Okay, so each eraser cost 85 cents. Okay, 85 cents. So all we're doing is taking our total and we're working backwards. Okay, taking our total, working backwards using inverse operations. All right, I'm going to go ahead and assign your practice and homework. There are not very many problems, so you're going to have very few problems tonight, but these are multi-step, so they will take you a little bit of time, okay? All right, let's go ahead and turn to page number, what page is this? 339. Page 339. Okay, on page 339, you are going to do the following problems. Once you have completed the problems, and you can work on a separate sheet of paper if you don't have enough room, or your whiteboard or whatever. Once you complete the problems, you're going to go fill in the Google form with your answers and submit them to me, okay? I want you to work on number 2 and 3 on page 339, 2 and 3, okay? And then on page 340, which is the back, you are going to work on number, let's see. I want you to work on number 1, 3, let's see, and 5. Yeah. Okay, 1, 3, and 5. Sorry, I was just thinking because I was going to also give you 6, but that's okay. Okay, so again, on page 339, you are working on 2 and 3. And then on 340, you're working on 1, 3, and 5. Okay, so that's a total of 5 problems. These will take you a little bit of time because they are multi-step. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.